As a warning, this is Elden Ring Reforged, an overhaul mod made by Kernifer and Ividian. It has 10,000 plus changes in it. If you'd like to know more, check out the description, but currently on the screen will be the most recent major patch. Thank you.
Greetings, folks. Steven here, and welcome back to another episode of Elden Ring Reforged. Last time on Elden Ring Reforged, we came out of the cave. We came out of the cave, the Gilded Cave of Knowledge. We talked to Vare. We did a little bit of killing wildlife. We talked to Kale, grabbed ourselves a better shield and everything. Then we marched through the forest, went to the Gatefront ruins, killed everything there and died there for our first time, before eventually ending at the Gatefront resting site and getting acquainted with Melina, who has offered to be our maiden, and gave us a sweet horse. This is Torrent. Unlike Vanilla, in Elden Ring Reforged, Torrent moves a little bit faster, baseline, but is more vulnerable. Also, they are damaged by status terrain like poison swamps, the, rot bogs, and probably any lava you step into. Yeah, Torrent is faster, but isn't like an all-star when it comes to exploring stuff. Also, gives us access to mounted combat. Mounted combat can be pretty fun, but it is definitely not everyone's cup of tea. And honestly, there's not, in my honest opinion, Elden Ring did not do enough with Torrent in order to make it unique. It kind of felt more like an afterthought than anything. Oh, you want to get in my way, do you? I don't think so. Get out of my sight. So, order of business. We're going to go over to this gold telescope. That's the very first thing we're going to do. Along with grabbing any rest site and changing it to daytime. Why daytime, you might ask? Well, because there are certain bosses, in case you aren't familiar with Elden Ring or it's been a while, there are nighttime bosses that only show up at night. You can only find them at night, fight them at night, beat them at night, and be beaten by them at nighttime.
Oh, right. The poison for Cusco. The poison chosen specially to kill Cusco. Cusco's poison.
Just gonna set it to morning, be greeted by the rather nice morning chime, and then continue about our business. Well, that went better than expected. Those are Kaiden mercenaries. They're warriors in Eastern-looking garb from Eastern lands, and they are generally the bane of my existence as a spellcaster. Normally, they're very rough, especially if you don't outpoise them or stagger them or something. Godric the Golden, humiliated, having tasted defeat by the blade of Mikola, now on his knees, begging for mercy. So these are like the gravestones that contain lore. They house lore. We will read these. I don't want to read them now. I know I read this one, but I want to kind of go through and make like a supercut video of just reading them all in the order they're supposed to be read. Let's get over to the gold telescope, shall we?
Oi! You there. Could you help us out, Cully?
Oh, who is that?
You You? Yeah, you there. Stop pretending you can't see me.
Ah, that's right. I nearly forgot about all that.
What'd you go and do that for?
I didn't do anything. Normally you have to roll into the bush to break him out of it. I didn't even have to do that.
Oh, yes. I remember. Some clod turned me into a tree. You were just breaking the spell, weren't you? Thank you. The name's Bok. I was pushed out of the cave. Told not to come back. Not ever. Then I ended up as a tree. Lucky you came along, really. Oh, what a shame. When they threw me out of the cave, they took everything I owned. And so this is all I have to express my thanks. I hope you can forgive me.
And I want to know where those 10 mushrooms were stored.
Or, well, if you can afford to wait for a while, I could sneak back into the cave and bring back something of actual value. Then I'd be of some real use to you, I reckon. Right, but I'll need a moment. I'm frightened of them, so I have to gather myself. My knees start knocking, just thinking about that god-awful cave on the shore. Right, but
Yeah, so that's our friend Bok. He'll be more important to us later. I'm not going to spoil it for right now. Again, I want to presume you have some knowledge of Elden Ring, mostly the mechanics. In terms of like story and everything else, I kind of want to assume you have minimal knowledge. You might know, where some Tarnished who's trying to regain the throne of the Elden Lord, but that's it. That's all I know. I know that we have to fight a few bosses to get there. Might even be one of FromSoft's infamous boss gauntlets. And that's it. That's all I know. Everything else, I'll remember it when I see it, but I don't remember most of the other plot points. And I couldn't be arsed to either. Yeah, you know what? I'm not touching with a 10-foot pole. Yeah, anytime I see one of those torches, those torch-bearing, tarnished, not tarnished, but, undead, not undead, jeez. Are they? I don't remember the exact name for those. I'll have to get the Codex to help me out with that. So that can happen later. Sure, there will be plenty of opportunities to identify that stuff. I've already given it away, haven't I? Yeah, there's a bestiary function in Elden Ring Reforged. You have to unlock it. You don't get it immediately. Thank you. That should not have been that difficult, but it was. Yeah, there's a bestiary function. You get an item that you can use to kind of identify creatures you face. It's like ERR's best feature by far, at least in my honest opinion. Ah, real vengeance. That's what I wanted to see. Yeah, if you knock people off of horseback, you can do like a special riposte for them. Really quite good. Enemies can do it to you, though. I'm in love with this greatsword. I'm not normally a heavy weapons lover, but I'm really growing to appreciate the charge forth with this. It is such a stance breaker, it's not even funny. Has to be vanilla too. At least I remember it being vanilla. This up here would have normally been a consumable. Instead, we get 7 signs of the all-knowing. Goody, but we don't have the Codex for it. but let's take a moment and read. Uses FP to mark enemy for Codex research, a chemical mixture which aids with the tracking of targets of interest. Marks a locked-on foe for indexing. Defeat marked enemies before the mark expires to enter them into the Codex of the All-Knowing. That's the item. That's the other item that I hadn't mentioned yet. Marked targets also reward more runes when defeated. Once an enemy has been indexed, further marking is no longer required for consequent kills to further your research. Yeah, it's a really nice bestiary. You mark them once, you kill them while marked. Their real entry is put into the Codex, and then you continue killing the same kinds of enemies that you've marked, and you eventually complete the Codex. It's really nice. And I wish that base Elden Ring had it, but they just don't. And it's really quite sad. Shouldn't you be towing something? Well, at least you hit each other. You're just gonna kill him for me. See, that's really good. Well, alright then. This will be our first place that we can go. Granted, I normally try and get a staff first before continuing. It doesn't really make a difference with the particular ruins that we're charging into now, though. It doesn't make a difference whatsoever. So these are Miranda flowers. Their main gimmick is that they poison people. A lot. And the bigger ones are capable of, the small ones are Miranda Sprouts. The bigger ones are Miranda flowers. The Miranda flowers also shoot beams of magical light from the sky. They're quite nasty to deal with. See, there's the clouds of poison I was talking about. Oh, I was expecting these Miranda flowers to spit out a lot more poison. I'm not sure what's going on with them. I'm happy they're not doing it, though. And somewhere our path has opened. Ah, yes. And underneath the the Waypoint ruins is one of everyone's maybe not least favorite NPCs, but nah, that belongs to a certain someone mentioned in the intro. No, she is... Well, you just have to have a taste for her. If you don't, it's very easy to dislike her. That's all I will say without spoiling it further. But she is the one that I tend to have a large relationship with as the story and as your progress in the game goes on. Okay, let's find the entrance to those ruins.
Down came the claw.
Wow. I thought that was going to be a lot more difficult than it was. The mad pumpkin heads tend to give me a little bit of trouble as a caster. They're surprisingly, at least the ones that use the flail, are at least not terrible with the proper weapon. Oh, hello, Miss,
Tarnished, are we? No wonder you should turn up here. I am Sellen, a sorcerer, quite plainly. Why are you here?
I want to learn sorcery.
Ah, a yen for glintstone sorceries. I dare say your proclivities are far from ideal. Oh well, perhaps nurture will defy nature, with a bit of luck. But one must choose one's masters wisely. I was exiled from the Academy of Rea Lucaria as a reviled, apostate witch. Do you still wish to learn from me?
I still want to learn because I don't even know who the hell you're talking about.
Well, you are a piece of work. Very well. You are now my protege in glintstone sorcery. But I refuse to coddle or cast kind words. Never. Anticipate grievances, young apprentice.
Nod in thought. Yeah, so welcome. Yeah, these are the glintstone sorceries. These will put us well on our path toward being a caster, at least as far as intelligence-based casting is concerned. We'll need another person to get up our itch for incantations, but that'll happen later. For now, we'll just take the generator spell and call it good. We'll talk to you again.
Young apprentice. First things first. You are a tadpole when it comes to magic. Infantile. Without the legs to walk. So, to become a sorcerer, first, you must face your ignorance. Now, shall we start learning?
Okay. I will face my ignorance at a later date. Go ahead and level up. We need Vigor. Lots of it. At least 700 HP before we get too comfortable with ourselves. And we'll throw in some dex. Why not? Eventually we'll be able to switch over to a flail or something with a bit more finesse, shall we say. Let's keep moving. Yeah, I'm not sure where your cart went to, young sirs, but... Nice. Oh, I'm definitely not making it out of this. Yeah, this is just a hellishly bad situation. That was made immediately better as soon as we killed the big baddies. We could focus on the small ones. Let's not get too comfortable, because there is a Kaiden mercenary not too far from us. Yeah, don't even get comfortable with your blows, good sir. Yeah, I'm not touching these torchbearers if I can help it. Where's that caster at? Right there. Gotta be careful with these, especially if they start spamming. The trick when you're fighting large groups like that is to not panic. Realize when running is better than fighting. And if you don't panic and your answer is I can take them on, I don't need to run, then you figure out who your problem individuals are. You figure out if it's the casters or it's someone else you need to take out first. The answer is almost always a caster, by the way. But some people may not have issues with them. The Greatsword moveset is pretty nice, isn't it? Heavies are for sweeps, and your light attacks are for single targets. What we want to do, however, is cause those giants to stop. Alright, they have stopped. We can now collect the item in here and move about our bit. Well, I mean, I want them for invisible chest. Okay, along with a Greataxe. Don't have the strength for that. Not even two-handing it gives me the strength. That's fine. Before we leave the Waypoint ruins, I know that there, in fact, is a rune piece that we should be collecting. And to do that, there are a couple of methods for getting it. The one I generally like... Oh, it's not even a rune piece. It's an actual item. The method I generally like to use involves either jumping up there on top of that stone wall to get it, or I can fall down on top of it. They're two equally good methods for getting it. So, as you can see, I've been poisoned. We don't have any means of curing ourselves currently. And so we're kind of stuck. We will probably die with this poison on us. But I am going to make sure we grab this item at least. You know, even if it does take me 15 times to get it, I will at least have this item before continuing onward. Oh. Trina's Lily is what awaited us at the top. Yeah, we definitely have to go back and rest again. Well, I think that'll be a good place to stop for today. Thank you guys so much. We'll try not to get involved in giant scuffles again. At least that one on the road with the two giants and the Greataxe. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Our intention is definitely to try to get past here and start making our way over in this direction. My name is Steven. This has been another episode of Elden Ring Reforged. Stay safe out there, take care of yourselves, and bye-bye.